Our first guest tonight, their impressive resume boasts rapper, Oscar, Emmy, Golden Globe-nominated actor and producer, restaurateur, and that's just the first page. It goes on and on. It's a big thing that he's done. He's got quite the oeuvre. You know what that means? Yeah, it's French. It means egg, but I think it's his body of work. You can see him co-star alongside the great Halle Berry in the action film called The Union. It premieres Friday on Netflix. Please welcome Mark Wahlberg. Look
so
at
cool.
you. Isn't this cool?
I can't believe we've never met.
How is that possible? And we never have, right?
And never gotten to work with the legend.
Well, you're a
I'm
legend.
hoping
Me.
to very soon.
I sit at your feet. I hope very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're working like crazy. You do things, one thing after another. You're the most working,
Never know when the bottom's gonna fall out. I gotta keep going.
Oh, gosh, you have no bottom. It's never going to fall out. You look fantastic. I've never seen you before. Let me see you. You've got what is that, a tattoo on
That's
your...
my wife's, yes, that's my wife's name, in case I'm not wearing my ring or I'm working, I can always have.
Oh.
You know, she said to me, she goes, oh my God, that's I got this on Valentine's Day one year. She said, that's the nicest thing you've ever done. I said, well, can I have back the expensive jewelry and just get you one of these too? And there we go.
Isn't that sweet? And that's your wife's name? Let me see.
And that's the only tattoo remaining, Rhea. That's the only remaining tattoo I have. I got all the other tattoos removed.
Is that painful, may I ask?
Terribly painful. They promise you that it's very quick, a couple of visits. It took me many years. I actually was trying to get them removed by the time I was going to do The Fighter, because every time I did a movie, if I had to take my shirt off, I had to cover it all with makeup. Agonizing experience. So I tried to get it done, and it took me like 5 years to get them completely removed. And it's like hot bacon grease getting flicked on you over and over and over again. Hopefully the technology is advanced by now.
Hot bacon grease flicked on you. Some people would find that pleasurable.
It's just nowadays you can't tell people.
So funny.
I knew I was gonna like you.
Hey, do you think I've ever had a tattoo in my life?
Probably in a place that you're not allowed to show on television. Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't have, but I shouldn't. But you know what I got? Speaking of jewelry, I just got this ring.
I like that.
Do you really? It's a pinky ring. This is the first day I'm ever wearing it out and presenting myself. Does it look too mobby or too old-time show-busy?
A little. No, that's a player. That's a player. I like it. I like it. Hey. I have a pinky ring too. If I wear it, my wife's gonna give me.
Really? My wife, who's sitting there, Emily. This is Emily.
Hi.
Where are you? That's Emily.
Congratulations, by the way. How are you?
The great Mark Wahlberg. Emily, do you remember when I first said I was going to get a pinky ring? It was a different ring. She was like, no. What are you? Who are you? Don't wear a pinky ring. But I did, and now I've gotten this. But here's a special feature of this. It's, this is the initial C of Charlie, our 9-year-old, who's now away in a sleepaway camp. E, that's Emily. And River, that's our other child, who's 7.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. There's so much I want to talk to you about.
Shoot.
This movie.
You don't know where to start.
Well, there's so many places we could start. You live now in Las Vegas, and thank you for coming here. You came from Australia. You must be exhausted, but you look fresh as a daisy.
I flew in from Australia Friday night. I fly back tonight. And right back to the set of a new film that I'm shooting. So I wanted to come and see you. This is a big deal. It's not every day that Jeff comes here to host this show. So I'm here. I'm excited to talk about the movie.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
People should see your movie, Union.
Yes.
And look how you do it. You're shooting in Australia, which is very exotic, and I'll bet there's things you would encounter there. Hopefully not sharks, and hopefully not
No sharks, but a lot of kangaroos. First movie I did, I just shot a movie there from February to June, didn't see a single kangaroo. I was like, what's going on? There's no such thing as kangaroos here. Now I'm on the Gold Coast, and I can't go on the golf course without seeing herds of kangaroos. I heard there's literally 48 million kangaroos in the country and only 13 million people.
Wow, how many kangaroos is that per division? Long division is not my strong suit either.
You had a hard time adding 9 plus 9, so I didn't want to throw that equation out.
You're watching.
I am a terrible speller, so I get it. Math, I have to be fairly good at.
You're not a good
But
speller.
don't ask me to do that equation right now.
But kangaroos, how about that? I was on the Gold Coast. I shot that movie Thor Ragnarok on the Gold Coast, Nobby Beach. Thank you. We were there. That was sweet. I like going. That's the first time our son Charlie went in the water, and now they're going to surf camp this summer. Do you ever surf?
I haven't tried surfing yet. Golf was the first thing that I kind of reluctantly dipped my toe in, no pun intended, and then I just got hooked with that. So I haven't got into surfing because that's another thing that takes you away for a long time. So
surfing?
Golf is my guilty.
But golf takes you away
I
a
see
little.
guys out there, because I'm staying on the water, I see guys out there just kind of drifting on their surfboard for hours. I'm like, how are they getting out of all their responsibilities? You know?
Well, you're a man of, you've got four kids.
Yeah, they're getting big now, which is really the reason that I went from lovely Los Angeles to Vegas, because I had 4 teenagers, and raising teenagers here is tough. And so I figured, even though you think Vegas, you think the Strip, but think Summerlin, where you got, you know, churches and schools and great communities and really tight-knit families. I mean, you can see the Strip, but it looks too far to get to, so my kids don't try to venture down there, which is good.
Because I heard you talking about one of your kids, because discipline, which you have discovered in your life, I know, which I have. It didn't come to me early on either.
No, I really wish that it did. You know, with this movie that I'm doing with Halle, you know, we hadn't been together for 25 years, so people are talking about if you could go back and do anything differently. If I could apply myself in the way that I do now, then I think, you know, the trajectory of my life would have been different. I wouldn't have so much explaining to do with my kids, why I didn't go to college and why I didn't get my diploma until I was 42 and all those other little things.
I agree. Well, big trouble. Big trouble.
You cutting to a commercial?
That reminds me, yes. There's so much I want to talk about.
Have we not started rolling yet? I can't believe we haven't met before.
No, I can't believe it, because I went to Wahlburgers once, and I got a nice burger and fries. And now you're serving tater tots there too.
Mm-hmm. And sweet potato tater tots.
Sweet potato is better for working out, isn't it? That's a good carb.
Great carb.
I like it too. More with Mark Wahlberg after this.
Whoa, miss, hey! Are you kidding?
Thank God Halle Berry comes in and takes care of her.
Well, that's so funny. So no action in the movie. Any action at all?
No, it's a little heavy on the drama side, but no, lots of action, lots of humor.
I saw this whole movie.
Oh.
I saw this movie. I love this movie. How about that? You and Halle Berry are so charming together and so romantic. And
you know, I've always been such a big fan of hers. I've known her. I met her, I think the first time I was probably 17. And I always wanted to work with her, and she was the ideal person for this role. You know, the movie really came from this idea where I'm probably not going to get cast as James Bond. I was like, so I was like, how about if I do my own version, a blue-collar version of James Bond? So I'm the Jersey James Bond in this movie.
James Bond. I love James Bond.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to be James Bond?
You should be James
No,
Bond.
no.
I don't think I
no.
quite fit the criteria, but...
It's so good. So good. You and Halle, and wait a minute. How about oh, that's fantastic action. Is that all? Can I ask, are some of those little cuts, are some of those stunt people, you know, falling into the glass and stuff?
I would try to do as little as possible, but Halle does everything. So when they're like, okay, you guys want to do this, and she kind of looks at you, you're like, okay. You just have to say yes. You know, but she does it all, and she had just directed her own movie where she was a UFC fighter, and, you know, she wrote, starred. I mean, she's incredible. So you can't not show up when she's doing it.
And hey, but so you obviously can do any stunt in the world, but are you afraid of heights like I am? Because in this movie, you're well suited. You've been training for years because you're a construction guy.
Yeah,
so when they get you in the stunt world, he's ostensibly supposed to.
Inspired by those really cool shots of people work on the New York skyline, sitting on those beams, floating in air, eating a sandwich out of a lunch pail. So you'll see me doing that in the movie. I was never afraid of heights, but I certainly don't like them now. And so when I got up there, they were like, okay, let go, and I'm holding on. And I got a wire on me, but I'm still pretty high. And I'm like, well, and then like, you got to just relax and eat your sandwich. I'm like, oh my God. And then jumping from beam to beam and on all those roofs, it was a little nerve-wracking.
Isn't that parkour? Is that parkour?
It's like parkour. Thank God my stuntman, Chase, who's very young, fit, and capable, he's a parkour expert.
Ooh.
So anytime Halle wasn't there, we'd let Chase get in there and do his thing.
That's amazing. I don't know what happens. It does change a little bit, or is it your inner
you get
ear or
older,
something?
of
But I don't
course.
like heights either.
No,
and now
no.
in that harness, I just went up in the harness recently.
Oh, that's the worst.
That doesn't feel so good.
No.
And I don't like it so much.
I would rather let the experts do that.
Yeah, I know. Hey, how about this? How about this? I was just going to say though, I have a kind of a credo now. After a while, you can't be good in a movie unless the director is really good. I mean, I have loved you so much in Boogie Nights and the other guys in Departed, and, you know, I Heart Huckabees. You kind of got to get with a terrific director, don't you?
Yes. You know, for me, the choice was always based around filmmaker. I was always filmmaker oriented. Penny Marshall gave me my first job. I really credit her with even giving me a career. But then I also realized at the same time, script and part are equally important, because if you get to the place where you're above the title and you're making a movie where you're compromising on the script or the part, or remaking a classic that shouldn't be remade, and you're going to get a little bit of the brunt of that if it doesn't work out. So I decided to be a little bit more selfish in making sure that it was also script first, part, and filmmaker. You know, all three parts equally important, and that being the criteria when making a decision. But yes, I've been fortunate enough to work with some of the greatest filmmakers of all time.
You're so smart. At another occasion, I'd like to talk at length about all of that stuff with you.
Hopefully on the set, chatting between takes one day.
That would be delightful. Or let's go to your Wahlburgers and have a burger after the show.
We could do that too.
All that stuff. The Union. The movie The Union premieres Friday on Netflix, and we're going to be right back with Rob Delaney.